So, have you ever thought about whether the universe itself could be alive? I don't just mean filled with life, but what if the whole thing, down to the last atom, was one single conscious being? Well, today, we're diving into a philosophical text that presents exactly that. A pretty wild vision where the very building blocks of reality can be awakened. All right, here's the game plan for how we're going to break down this incredible idea. First up, we're going to look at the atoms, the fundamental stuff of everything. Then, we'll get into the secret of how they actually come to life. From there, we'll meet the visionary figure who makes it all happen, and finally, we'll see how this all leads to the creation of a brand new, conscious world. So, our journey kicks off with something we all learned about in science class, the atom. But I want you to kind of forget what you think you know. This text asks us to look at the atom not just as a tiny particle, but as a seed of pure potential, just waiting for its chance to become something, well, something more. What's so fascinating is how this text just jumps right in. There's no big epic story or grand creation myth. Nope. It starts with one single powerful concept, that atoms, the very stuff our universe is made of, can be resurrected. Right, so we all get that everything is made of atoms. The planets, the stars, you, me, everything. But this text takes that simple fact and flips it on its head. It asks a pretty profound question. What if those atoms aren't just inanimate building blocks? What if they're actually just waiting to be woken up? And this line right here, this is the heart of the whole thing. The text is suggesting that atoms aren't just lifeless specks of matter, they're dormant. Each and every one of them holds this little spark of potential, just waiting for the right catalyst to bring it to life. Okay, so if atoms have this hidden potential for life, it leads to a pretty big question, doesn't it? What's the secret? What's the trigger that can actually wake them up from this cosmic sleep? The text introduces this figure it calls a Serpi, which basically means a creator or a sculptor. But this is not your ordinary creator. I want you to imagine a sculptor who doesn't just chip away at a block of stone, but can actually breathe life into the atoms of that stone, transforming it into something that is truly, genuinely alive. So this whole transformation isn't just like flipping a switch. It unfolds in three really clear stages. It all starts with that dormancy, the raw potential just sitting there in the atoms. Then comes the most important part, the intervention of a conscious creator. And finally, you get animation. The atoms are resurrected, they're filled with this new vibrant life. It's a journey from inert matter to a living, breathing cosmos. Which, of course, brings us to the ultimate question. Who or what could possibly have that kind of profound knowledge and power? Who has the ability to tap into the very essence of the universe and give it that spark of life? Well, the text gives us a very specific and really fascinating answer. This incredible power belongs to an enlightened being known as a Siddhar. Now let's be clear, a Siddhar isn't a god or some kind of deity. A better way to think of them is as a perfected master. Someone who, through unbelievable discipline and insight, has reached a complete and total understanding of how reality actually works. They don't just see the surface of things, they understand the universe's source code. So their role isn't just about wielding some kind of raw power, it's really about vision. The Siddhar can see the hidden potential locked away in the cosmos, what it could be. They act as a sort of cosmic architect, guiding this transformation from a silent, dormant universe to one that's humming with life and awareness. And now we get to what is, for me, the most mind-blowing part of this whole process, the act of creation itself. And it's not about building something from the outside. No, it's an act of profound, total union. This is probably the most radical idea in the entire text. The creation doesn't happen because of some external force pushing things around. It's an act of complete and total fusion. The Siddhar literally dissolves their own perfected consciousness and merges it with every single atom in existence. And this passage just beautifully illustrates how intimate that process is. The Siddhar doesn't just wake the atoms up. They literally impart their own qualities to them. Their wisdom, their clarity, their very essence becomes the new essence of reality itself. So what's the result of this incredible fusion? It's staggering. The universe is no longer just a collection of separate, unaware particles. With the Siddhar's consciousness flowing through everything, the entire cosmos awakens. It becomes one single vast and aware entity. So after this unbelievable act of cosmic fusion, what's the endgame? What does a universe that has been completely and totally reborn actually look like? The transformation is just absolute. You go from a universe of dormant, inert atoms, just unaware matter filled with potential, to a perfected reality of conscious, living atoms. The very fabric of existence gets elevated to a whole new state of being. And it's really important to get this. This isn't just some poetic metaphor. The text is describing a literal rebirth of the world. It's a complete overhaul of existence, creating a reality that is fundamentally alive and conscious, right down to its very core. And that's the profound question this text really leaves us with. It challenges our deepest ideas about the line between mind and matter. It asks us to imagine a reality where consciousness isn't just something in the universe, but what if consciousness is the universe? What would it truly mean for reality itself to be reborn?